Hey, everybody, I have some updates for you in the trooper Enrique Delgado-Garcia's case. As you know, this is a case that I've been following and reporting on my channel here since September of 2024. And just a few weeks ago, we had 4 indictments that were handed down by the state and the state attorney general's office, indicting 4 officers that have been accused in his death. So a few weeks ago, I actually put in a records request to get some information about his case. And my records request was returned back through the state attorney general's office, and they actually sent me the formal indictment. So last night I went on X, I did an update on my account and kind of laid out everything that is following in those indictments. So let me just read through my tweet here and I'll explain everything that's going on. So I said, today I received these indictment documents through a public records request I submitted a few weeks ago to the Massachusetts Attorney General's office regarding information about Trooper Enrique Delgado-Garcia's case. I've been reporting on the death of Trooper Enrique Delgado-Garcia since September 16, 2024. And there's been a lot of misinformation surrounding this case. And there really has. There's been a lot of misinformation. And I'm hoping these documents help clarify and set the record straight as to who's been charged, what the charges are, what each person's role was, and what the state is alleging. So let's get into the breakdown of this. So Jennifer Penton causing serious bodily injury to a participant in a physical exercise program, and she's also been charged with involuntary manslaughter and perjury. The serious bodily injury count alleges that, as supervisor of the defensive tactics unit, she had direct management or control over the training and willfully, wantonly, and recklessly caused serious bodily injury to Delgado-Garcia. The manslaughter count alleges she's criminally responsible either by affirmative acts or failing to act when she had the duty to act. The perjury count alleges she falsely testified under oath before the statewide grand jury about when she first learned Garcia had complained of concussion-like symptoms after sparring on September 11th, 2024, the day before the boxing matches. The session on September 11th was with the same opponent he boxed the next day, ultimately leading to his death. On Delgado-Garcia's head injury, and I want to explain this to all of you because this has been the thing that has been debated. There's been a lot of false information about this, but I'm hoping that I can clarify this. When reported, the autopsy states Enrique Delgado-Garcia died of complications from intracranial hemorrhage due to blunt impact injuries of the head in the setting of a physical training exercise. There have been many reports put out there that Delgado-Garcia died from an aneurysm. I'm not a medical doctor, just like I said, but from the information I can source from the Mayo Clinic, this was not an aneurysm. The autopsy language points more towards a traumatic brain bleed from blunt force head injury during physical training, not a classic brain aneurysm. And that makes a lot of sense. He took a couple of blows to the head. He took a couple of blows to the head the day before, and he probably had some bleeding going on his head when he said, I feel like my head is not right. And that's the quote that I heard. He had complained about that. An intracranial hemorrhage means bleeding inside the skull, and it can happen after a head trauma. An aneurysm is a weakened balloon blood vessel that ruptures, which is a different mechanism. The key phrase is, quote, due to blunt impact injuries of the head. That word indicates the hemorrhage were being attributed to the head trauma, not to a spontaneous aneurysm rupture. And again, from me tracking down sources and learning about Enrique, he had a very clean bill of health going into his actual training to become a state trooper. They would not allow you to go in there if they knew you had a pre-existing condition or anything like that. So we go on to Edwin Rodriguez, David Montanez, and Casey Lamont. And I think I said Montanez. I might have that wrong, but excuse me if I did. So causing serious bodily injury to a participant in a physical exercise program and involuntary manslaughter. And again, it's the same charge as Jennifer Penton up above. And, the manslaughter count alleges that they're criminally responsible either by affirmative acts or failing to act when he had the duty to act or when they had the duty to act. So I want to make something very clear about all of this. As I reported in the past, none of the troopers were charged had physical contact with Delgado-Garcia. And I know a lot of people looked into Edwin Rodriguez. I believe that he had some semi-pro background in boxing, and people immediately went to that and said that's got to be the guy that boxed him and caused these injuries. That is false. All these people were supervisors. They were supervisors and supervised these actual training exercises. They failed to do that, and that's why they're being charged. I go on to say here, the trooper who did actually box or train with Delgado-Garcia has been cleared. The individual charges were as they were his supervisors and those overseeing the program. This case appears to be centered on a failure of supervision, operation, structure, management, and control. That will be for the jury to discuss and go on from there and make their decision. So I go on to say, after nearly a year and a half of waiting, although I was very critical at times, I want to thank David Myers' his team, and I'm very glad this investigation has finally reached this point, and I hope that the Delgado-Garcia family can find at least some measure of solace in such a heartbreaking situation. And if you're wondering, and if you're new to this case, who is David Meyer? David Meyer was a special investigator that was summoned by the Attorney General, Andrea Campbell, to tackle this case, assemble a team, and actually go through and figure out what happened to Delgado-Garcia. On many videos in the past, I have been very critical of him because of the timing, and I think I just wanted immediate answers for this family, and sometimes it takes a long time to investigate, and I understand that, and I'm actually happy that they did take as long as they did to get to this critical point in this investigation, because I think that if they would have buzzed through it, they would have not found what they did, taking the time to do this. So the only other thing that I say here is, please be kind to the Delgado-Garcia family. If you're going to talk about this, they have a very heavy presence on social media. They follow what is being talked about. And I just ask people, please be kind. Okay. And the formal indictments, like I said, are here on my X page if you want to read through them. I actually have them on my Facebook page as well, and you can find that at LTL Media. You can just go over there and they're on there as well. But I'll leave my handles down below in the comments, or the links to my X and Facebook account. So if you want to go over and read through these, you can. So I'll keep updating you when I get new information. I appreciate everybody following this case. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below. Also, turn on that bell notification so every time I go live or drop a new video, you guys will know. And somewhere around here, a box is going to pop up and you can see another related video to this channel. Again, I'm Brian. This is LTL Media, and I appreciate your time. Talk to you soon.